Hey, comic fans, this is Ravi, the heavy roller, ready once again. Wearing my Springbok colors and my Man United top. I'm very happy that Jadon Sancho is joining Man United. The other, of course, the Springboks are playing the British and Irish Lions this afternoon at Cape Town Stadium, so I'm really looking forward to that. But what I really want to speak about is how awesome was Masters of the Universe Revelations. I really enjoyed the show, largely because it was, and this came from Kevin Smith's mouth himself, that we literally have a continuation from the 1983 series. Now, when it comes to Masters of the Universe, I never really had a deep connection with the original source material because the truth is I was born in the early 80s. So, excuse me, so I didn't really have much of a chance to really engage with the brand, engage with the product. And I think over the years, I would say in the late 80s, early 90s, there were some iterations of the show, and the merchandising still continued. Mattel, of course, is a major producer of Masters of the Universe, but I really enjoyed this show. I think the only critique I have is that, uh, it just occurred to me that it was centered around Masters of the Universe, meaning every single character on the show, as opposed to Prince Adam, He-Man himself. And what I realized that He-Man didn't really throw much of a punch. You don't really see much of him in the first part of season one of Masters of the Universe Revelations. And I have a feeling that in part two, you could very well see him coming back. I won't give too many spoilers away, but there is a portion where he disappears for a pretty long time. And there's a lot of subplots, sub storylines as well, sort of break out. They kind of like break away from the squeaky clean image of Eternia of the kingdom. So it's quite an interesting deviation, if you will, and I think Kevin Smith has pretty much indicated this throughout the program and even leading up to it. And I think what was a nice touch from the producers of Masters of the Universe Revelations that they had a Netflix after party after the show, and I think this is more of a tip of the hat to the fans, just to allow them to engage with a lot of the voice actors, or just to see how much work actually went into this and what the intricacies were of producing the show. What was pretty cool is that, and a lot of people do not know this, I myself didn't realize this first off. Mark Hamill is actually the voice of Skeletor, and the weird thing is that Hamill's voice as the Joker, it's so entrenched in my mind that I don't think of him as Mark Hamill when he's playing the Joker. And it just occurred to me, I think around about the third episode, when Skeletor is talking, I think there's like a montage, there's a fight on a boat somewhere, and he started talking. I'm like, this really sounds like Skeletor. This sounds like, it sounds like the Joker. I'm like, it'd be pretty cool if Kevin Conroy, Batman, from the 1992 Batman the Animated Series, is also there. And guess what? He's also there too. But I don't want to spoil it any further. He's in the show. He's one of the voice actors. You should check it out. Master of the Universe Revelations on Netflix. Great show. I think the diehard fans, the guys that really are passionate about the original source material, they're gonna be a bit salty about it. No matter like they enjoy it that much. But thankfully, Mattel realizes there's different aspects, different complexities with regards to its massive fan base. So much so that they've actually launched its own YouTube channel where Masters of the Universe is playing all of its old episodes. The Filmation environment, the Louis Schreider environment is pretty cool. And in fact, just adding on from the Schreider universe, if you will, from the original source material, we managed to get a hold of the original Skeletor. Masters of the Universe Revelation got the original Skeletor, and he's actually portraying one of the other characters on the show by the name of Mossman, which is pretty cool, because his voice, you don't pick it up immediately, but this gentleman has got quite a high-pitched voice as well. He does speak on a Netflix after party, so you should check it out. I the other thing about it is, being an MBA student as well, I do see the commercial aspects to this franchise as well kicking off again. And I have to admit that I thought the Netflix after party special for Masters of the Universe Revelation was a gigantic toy catalog in many senses of the word. But, game recognizes game. I understand why Kevin Smith would have indulged in that, showing a few of the action figures and the toys, the figurines that they've been working on, a lot of the contraptions. I think Master of the Universe, if I think back to the original iteration of the show, in fact, I think it started off as a toy line first, then it made its way into the television setup. In fact, it went, I think in this order, it went toy line first, comic book second, and then straight into the action figurines. And I think it was great that the source material kind of talks to that. I think it was one of the first shows I watched as a kid. And again, I must emphasize, I only really caught on the Master Universe bandwagon in the early 90s. And by that time, it was already too late. But you could see that there was a synergy between the source material, the action figures they produced, lots of machinery, lots of accessories that go with the toys. And that was one of the first things that really kicked off that trend, because the 80s was a time where you could buy the action figurine and that was it, or you bought an assortment of action figurines and that was it. The accessories only really kicked on towards the mid to late 80s, so around about the end of the Masters of the Universe, or in tandem with Masters of the Universe rather. And that spilled over to Ninja Turtles phase, which is where, that's my school, that's my background. I collected pretty much all of the Ninja Turtles. I had even the Ninja Turtle battle van and all of those things. But that's for another episode, folks. More on that a little bit later. Thank you again for watching. If you haven't as yet, I've emphasized it. Watch Master of the Universe Revelations. It's a mixed bag. I think people are going to, different age groups are going to have different viewpoints about the show. Some people, in fact, would have watched She-Ra, and that's a completely different deviation from the gritty feel and outlook of this particular brand. I think they're going to go back to the squeaky clean vibe at some other point. But for now, for the Revelations leg of the storyline, I think they're going to stick with the gritty, stick with the post-apocalyptic feel. And it is a good show to watch. It is well written. Some of the Game of Thrones actors are also on the show as well. So please check it out when you have a moment. Otherwise, have a great weekend. This is Ravi ready, heavy roller ready from Zanzi Comic Club. Check out more of my videos. Please subscribe. Click on the like button if you can. And stay blessed. Take care. And if you're a rugby fan, I hope you're going to enjoy the Springboks whooping the British and Irish Lions all over the park tonight. Otherwise, take care of yourselves, guys. Always stay safe.